there, everyone. So here we are at Wednesday, and the theme for today is going to be vegetables. So is everybody ready to learn how to make gluten-free fried eggplant without frying it even? Wonderful. Well, then I am here to show you how to do that, because fried eggplant is probably one of my favorite dishes that we can have, and it is eggplant's so good for you. So any way you make it, I'm happy with eggplant. But what we do is, or at least what I do, is I start with my rice flour, and I went ahead and I made that mixture because I actually made some already and put it in the oven. And I added to my rice flour mixture just some kosher salt and black pepper, and that's it. Now, before I even get started doing that, I don't know if you can see right here, these are my eggplants that I've already sliced. And what I was taught to do by my mom is that because eggplant has so much moisture in it, we want to take some of that moisture out for frying. So what we do is we literally line a colander with paper towels, and then put the pieces of eggplant on the paper towels and sprinkle them with salt to help draw that moisture out. And once the moisture is drawn out, you just leave it, it doesn't have to be for long. A few minutes is fine. You go ahead and then you can add them to start your mixture. Now also, of course, I have my egg mixture, egg and milk, wash mixture. And then I have my gluten-free breadcrumbs, which are seasoned breadcrumbs. And what I did was I added a little bit of Parmesan cheese, because I always like to add a little bit of Parmesan cheese when I am making fried eggplant. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start by dredging the eggplant first in the rice flour, and then we're going to dip it in our egg wash, and finally we're going to go ahead and put it into our breadcrumbs. Then what I'm going to do is transfer it over here. Now what I've done here is I've taken a baking sheet and I put olive oil and a little bit of canola oil. It could be whatever oil that you're comfortable using. It could be a vegetable oil, and a mixture of that, and I lined the bottom of the pan, because what I found was this is a much easier way to cook eggplant without having the mess all over the stove of frying it. Plus, it's a healthier way to do it. At least I think it is. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be lining this as I go along with my eggplant. So hopefully everybody's having a good week. But what I love about these things is that I'm able to show everybody that you can, in fact, cook delicious Italian food gluten-free. And it tastes just as good. Just as good. It may not be pasta like we know. May not be pizza like we know, but it's still good, good, good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to dredge, put it in my mixture, and then I'm going to go ahead and then put it on my pan. Now, you can do a lot of things with eggplant, obviously, right? I mean, you can just eat it fried like it is, which is one of my favorite things to do. Or you can make it into eggplant parmesan. If you're going to make it into eggplant parmesan, then what you want to do is, now I want you to see real quick, I digress, how wet that paper towel is. See that I'm taking it out. And that means that thankfully a lot of the moisture was pulled out of my slices of eggplant, so I'm not going to have a lot of splatter and pop and things like that as I go about doing this. But anyway, eggplant parmesan, a great meal to make, and it's so easy. Once you have your eggplant completed and fried, making the eggplant parmesan is just a real cinch, because all you're doing at that point is layering your eggplant. You're going to start, like I did with the lasagna the other day, you're going to start with a bottom of, just a little bit of sauce, because you don't need a lot because it's cooked, and we're not wanting to add a whole lot of moisture to the eggplant. And I don't know about you, but I like to keep my eggplant as crispy as possible. So we're going to line that nicely. And I'm going to check what I already have in the oven, because I already have some in the oven. Those are crisping up so nicely. Love it. Let's take a look. want to overcook them. Although I don't know if you can really overcook the eggplant. Let me just flip these over a little. And if I've got a dry section, I'm going to move it around to where there's more oil in the pan. And those are looking really, really, really good. So we're just going to let those finish up in there. Let those finish up in there. Sorry, I was off camera a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and keep doing what we're doing here. But anyway, eggplant Parmesan. Easy, easy, easy peasy once you have the eggplant actually fried up. So you can do that in steps. That's another one that you can do ahead. So if you wanted to cook the eggplant ahead because your schedule was going to be kind of hectic and busy, no problem. Easy to do. You just go ahead, cook the eggplant ahead and get it fried. And then, ooh, there's a lot of moisture in that one. And then what you do is once you're ready to make the eggplant, and yes, eggplant can be frozen too. I freeze just about everything if I need to. But once you're ready to put your eggplant Parmesan together, whether you're serving it that night, very easy. So you're going to use tomato sauce, mozzarella cheese, and Parmesan cheese. And that's basically it. And then you're just going to layer it. That's how easy it is to make eggplant Parmesan. And again, though, you have to fry the eggplant first unless you want to go in a different direction with it and do it, maybe a little healthier and not fry it. Now, I'm not technically frying, but yet I am frying in the oven. I'm doing an oven bake fry is what I'm doing. And I love that again because I'm not dirtying up my entire stove that way. Because I don't like that. And vegetables really are the theme for tonight. So what I've also done is I just cut up some Brussels sprouts. And I'm going to cook up those Brussels sprouts. I'm just going to roast those in the oven. And when I roast them in the oven, what I'm going to be doing is just adding just a little bit of actually almond oil. And I like adding almond oil because it's a little lighter of an oil. And of course it has just a tiny nutty flavor to it. And so it's a nice change from the regular oil that we generally use. And like I said, I used a combination in my pan of olive oil and vegetable oil because what vegetable oil does whenever you want to crisp something up or you're making something that you want to have a crispier texture, you definitely want to use either a vegetable oil or a canola oil. And the reason being is olive oil is wonderful. I love the flavor of olive oil. Remember I told you my favorite store in downtown St. Pete for olive oil is Kalamazoo Olive Oil Company, and it's a great little shop, has all kinds of balsamic vinegars. Oh my gosh, I mean, you could just be there for a long time tasting the different vinegars. But anyway, the second best thing is the olive oil that we get from the stores. But it has a heavier flavor, and it doesn't crisp up things like the regular cooking canola or vegetable oil does. So I always like to mix it a little bit so I get kind of the best of both worlds that way. And I know that my items are going to be nice and crisped up. Okay, so this pan is done and ready to go in the oven. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my other pan out and let's just see. Those look so good. Those look great. So I'm going to show you those in just a minute so that I don't scald my hand doing it. I'm going to pop this other one into the oven. But this is what they're going to look like when they are all done. Now look at this. Doesn't that look beautiful? Golden brown, perfect. They're a little moist they'll be a little moist on the inside, crunchy on the outside. I can't wait to dig in with them tonight. And then on top of that, I'm going to be doing my Brussels sprouts. I'm going to put those, like I said, a little bit of almond oil, and then I'm just going to do a little bit of kosher salt and black pepper, and that's it. Now, for the gluten-free breadcrumbs, I actually used the seasoned ones because now our gluten-free options come not just in plain breadcrumbs, but seasoned breadcrumbs. But If you don't have the option of getting the seasoned breadcrumbs, and I just went ahead and just grabbed the 4C because that was what was available at my local grocery store, then you can take the regular plain ones and just add the seasoning that we usually add to make the seasoned breadcrumbs, and that is a little bit of Parmesan, some oregano, a little bit of basil, all of that stuff. So I hope that you guys have a great evening. I am going to enjoy my vegetables tonight. Next on the list, I'm actually going to be doing up some roasted zucchini. Roasted vegetables are so good too because they caramelize in the oven. So you just a tiny bit of oil is all you need. And roasted carrots in the oven, roasted squash, roasted, of course, potatoes, but roasted asparagus, broccoli, you name it, you roast it, and it just takes it to a whole nother level. So I hope you all have a great night. Don't forget, watch for your gluten intake. If you're gluten intolerant, remember you still can eat Italian, even gluten-free. And don't forget to remember, our gut is so important to our overall well-being. So we want to make sure we take care of that, and we have options for doing so now. If you have any questions, I'd love to tell you more about our Trebiotic and how that is working out for everyone. So have a great Wednesday night, and I'll see you all soon. Ciao.